All right, bottom left-hand corner, we got Dewalt starting as the yellow Protoss. Bottom right-hand corner, we got Bonyth starting as the midnight blue Protoss. This is Fighting Spirit Mania, the final game of this set. And I was going to say that I was planning on stopping in between these games, but the games have been kind of addictive. Saying addictive like crack. And I was like, I don't do crack. I keep my nose clean like the games have been clean up to this stage. And then we kind of brought up the thing happened in our Twitch chat. It's like, is that where that saying came from? Is keeping your nose clean like keeping yourself from doing, like you haven't done cocaine or crack? Is that where that originated? Or some other place? Food for thought. Figuring it out. I'm sure that'll be fun fodder for YouTube chat land when this gets uploaded as well. Also, interesting dichotomy brought up by Feathersword in the... Oh, wow, Feathersword looked it up. The American idiom, keep your nose clean, originated in 18th century Britain as keep your hands clean. The moral authority of the time, the clergy used this expression to encourage people to live morally free from sin and corruption. So I guess it's just another version of keep your hands clean. Keep your hands clean makes sense because it's kind of like wash your hands. That's kind of like purity, right, sort of thing. As an aspect, like there was definitely like the Jewish purity rituals where a lot of washing your hands maybe went into where people started maybe noticing like, oh, hey, you wash your hands, fewer people die. Actually, the guy who originally figured out wash your hands was right and ended up in an insane asylum for being right because people didn't believe him. By the way, mirror builds opposite side. That's a fun and kind of sad story. Not fun. That's a sad story to look up in the background. Maybe I shouldn't have shared that one. It's a downer. Instead, we got fun StarCraft. We're just going to drop that out of our brains. We're going to wash our hands of that entire conversation. See me bringing that right back around. Bonyth's going to scout the upper right-hand corner first. Dewalt looks like I presume he's going to go for a cross-map scout. Seems to be his preferred play. 7 minutes core dropping before Zealot on both ends of the map, by the way. So maybe inspired upon seeing just the never mind, we're seeing the defensive Zealot built here for Bonyth, but maybe inspired from Bonyth last map and hoping to try to pull it himself. And I take that back. Wrong on both counts. Now the Zealot queued up. So ignore everything I'm saying. Just a late queued up Zealot, though, for Dewalt. And I don't think that's going to be able to block a scout as well. I don't know that he was able to sneak an additional probe in the midst of that as well. And we do see like a lower APM, so I'm wondering if this is more of a fatigue game for Dewalt. We'll have to see. We did have some dark tempo trades, and never mind, looks like the Zealot was able to get in position to go ahead and give Dewalt the scouting information advantage here. See if he's able to maintain that. In the meantime, critically, range queued up for Bonyth. We did have an exchange of DTs. Okay, range is queued up a little bit later here by Dewalt. Not by a margin that is going to allow any sort of advantage without some like mega luck on Bonyth's part. Not an informational exploitable piece of data there. And Bonyth actually up a worker in the midst of that, despite going for that earlier Zealot. So maybe a little bit of misqueuing. Or maybe there's some mineral boosting happening in the midst. I'm not sure. Might even up here with this worker kill, potentially. Worker on worker violence. Maybe. Oh, he missed the ramp. Took a hit. 4 health left, though. Just walking, recharging the shields, kept him alive. Kind of, I guess, lessons for all of us. Maybe we can pretend we regenerate shields. 1 gate, robotics facility. 1 gate, robo, opposite side, so mirrored builds. Dewalt slightly behind in supply. So I think there is a Dragoon difference if I was to... Well, maybe not. Wonder where the difference is here. So we got 2 Dragoons and a Zealot, 2 Dragoons and a Zealot. Never mind, things have equalized. It was just the gateway unit being queued up a little bit later. Getting ahead of myself on this one. So we're once again seeing mirrored builds. 2nd gateway added on. We are not seeing a 2nd gateway from Dewalt, however, as of yet. Now we're seeing that 2nd gateway. Man, they're trolling me. Trolling me a little bit just by Dewalt being a half second behind in the midst of this. So 2 gate robo, 2 gate robo. And I'm wondering if both players decided to opt to go back to the standard safe because of the DT win trades that happened previously. Because it is kind of like that safe bread and butter mid-game build. Both players finding each other just about mid-map. And that kind of reminds me of the, not Polypoid. What was the, why am I blanking on the map name? Where it had the color swap right in the middle of the map. So when your workers and other things moved right across from one another, you knew like you're at even equalized builds up to that stage because of the timing and of everything. I'll remember it after the match, not in the middle of it. Random access memory is being utilized elsewhere to make a programmer metaphor. Robotic support bay, but no observatory. Same deal. Or sorry, we do have an observatory first. Opposite corner. Am I missing the observatory? No. It's going to be Reaver first. And the shuttle going to move out from Bonyth to go ahead and try to confirm that natural expansion. He is going to go Observer first. And this should lead to an informational advantage overall for Bonyth. So we'll have that reroute a little bit later, but because of the travel distance for Dewalt, who, by the way, a bit of supply up because of that Reaver being constructed, now building that observatory a little bit later. They'll basically have that observer out earlier, and we'll be able to kind of track the troop movements. Dewalt might feel a little bit more comfortable closing the gap, though, with that earlier Reaver. That's usually what happens when you see that Reaver produce first before Observer. Basically, kind of a hope that you're going to be able to get that Reaver in your opponent's face and deny, maybe create some chaos at the natural expansion. But Dewalt has that shuttle up, waiting on his Reaver. The Observer waiting alongside that bridge line to spot Dewalt's troops as they make their way out. And you can see the timing of this. That just means the Observer is there for Bonyth. And the Reaver comes out a little bit later, where Bonyth has to move a little bit forward, a little bit back. The Zealot going to try to do some scouting forward here. Dewalt at a troop and loses a Dragoon and has an injured Zealot. A big grouped up shot, though, on the Dragoons as far as a follow-up shot. Second shot away, but the Reaver gone. Bit of a misclick, and now Bonyth up a Reaver, which means he should be able to more comfortably claim a natural expansion in the midst of this. Observer out just hanging out the natural expansion right this second. He's going to go ahead and move down to Dewalt. Looks like he's waiting to go ahead and grab his natural. He's dropped a third gateway in response to this. Rather than dropping a Nexus, Bonyth dropping a defensive pylon. No third gateway as of yet. And it looks like, he recognizes, okay, I'm up a Reaver. The Observer getting pinned back, but still within range where... That's interesting, like pinning back. I still think Bonyth was able to probably walk forward and see the lack of natural expansion. I'm kind of curious, actually, on the range of this. This is cute. Dewalt, I think he's mining here at the natural, not to actually, like, mine anything here. I think what he's hoping is that Bonyth's worker... or Observer was a little bit closer, so it looked like on the edge of view there that there was a worker, and so he was trying to trick him into think Eclipse is the map. Came up with it last second. I look over to chat, and LML, the hero, able to confirm it. But 2 Reavers versus 1 now outside that natural expansion. Shuttle taking some free hits. The shuttle's down both directions. The Reaver lost, however, on Dewalt's side. The Reaver is quickly taken out, but now Bonyth just has a much larger army here. And is going to go ahead and box him out and get that natural about halfway finished. And Bonyth, is he going to keep going? There's a Reaver on the low ground. He doesn't have a shuttle to press into this, but going to charge a few units up. Donated a couple units for free in that attempt, but he's way ahead in supply. Is now in a... I think he's going to take this match, but I said that before, and Dewalt dropped 4 gateways in recognition of this situation, so it's 3 gate, keep in mind. Trying to get a free shot, and if he loses that Reaver... Okay, does the Observer walk up and recognize it's a game win now, though? Because he could honestly win the game right here, moving in with this attack troop. Looks like it not recognizing. He's happy just to take the advantage, knowing that he's got this natural that's coming up earlier. So better worker saturation now for Bonyth. He just needs to drop a third and fourth gateway. And Dewalt is locked in. And it's going to be a while, so everything looking in Bonyth's favor right now. Superior supply. Did a worker? No, just a single Dragoon is out here at the 9 o'clock location. The Observer going to take a tack of damage along that ring. Reaver got picked off of the low ground, though, in the midst of that, which is a sizable win, but honestly a brief victory. I'm not sure why that shuttle decided to run up so rapidly. Wondering if a Reaver just got mismicroed in the midst of that. And now Observer picked off and Dewalt able to bully things out, but this is still 3 gate, so he doesn't have a supply advantage. He doesn't have a production advantage, and we got 4 gateways behind this in the midst. And the Observer going to be able to walk back across, and I think once Bonyth sees that it's just 3 gateways and a Reaver on the low ground, he's got to feel confident in this position. Just needs to get back to this troop line, and he'll have a superior count, and that should be the game-winning moment, theoretically. Yeah, Dewalt in a lot of trouble now. 2 Reavers hanging out at the natural. Second gas already up for Bonyth, and a couple defensive pylons just in case. Looks like the Reaver's going to try to slow crawl their way. Dewalt recognizes he's at a disadvantage. Sizable disadvantage. Defensive shield battery dropped in the midst of this. And Bonyth also finding some troops filtering in across the 6 o'clock and able to get some free damage right there before the fight's even started. So this is looking like a Bonyth win and a Bonyth set victory right this second, unless there's a miracle engagement here from Dewalt. 2 Reavers up. A pocket of these troops are now out of position. We got 8 Dragoons to the south, a shield battery to make up the difference, and a lone Reaver on that edge, but we do have that pylon. Ooh, and a big shot up to the front. Nothing working out for Dewalt right this second. Also, shuttle speed has been upgraded in the midst of this. Dewalt charging forward, able to get some damage done. A lot of those units piled up. Lost the shuttle. Shield battery healing up that Reaver. It's not able to get a second shot off, but this is still a much smaller army here for Dewalt. And wow, yeah, the Dragoons just fanning out and completely surrounding it, even with the 2 Reaver lead here. I don't think this is enough, especially at a closer reinforcement point. So Dewalt going to end up losing this army. Loses the Reaver. And is he going to GG right? Yeah, going to GG right there. So Bonyth takes this set. He's up 3 sets to 2, and he is 1 set away from being crowned the Fighting Spirit Mania champion. Being crowned the champion of the longest running tournament up to this stage. Stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.